Robelis Despaigne, the one interesting heavyweight prospect that we thought might be able to do something in this division, just got fraud checked, and he got dominated against a guy he should look pretty good against. Cortes-Acosta's best attribute is his boxing, which plays exactly into Robelis Despaigne's strengths. He's not a great wrestler, despite what this fight might have told you. Those were actually the first completed takedowns of Cortes-Acosta's UFC career, and he had only attempted 2 takedowns before this fight. But despite going up against a low-level wrestler for the division, Robelis Despaigne showed pretty much no takedown defense, which we knew could be a big hole in his game because it's never been tested before up until this fight. You know, he'd just go out there and knock everyone out in the first 10 seconds. They wouldn't even have a chance to even attempt a takedown. But now we know his takedown defense is bad, and on that first takedown, he actually did kind of sprawl it, so credit to him, but he didn't get to the underhooks. He's just not a good enough grappler to know that. He hasn't been doing it long enough, and because he wasn't able to get those underhooks, Cortes-Acosta was easily able to take him down, and he just held him down the rest of the round, and he put him in a pretty tight Americana as well that had Despaigne in a lot of trouble. But Despaigne just showed no takedown defense, and when he got put down, he couldn't get off his back. He got caught in full mount and had no ability to escape back to half guard. He didn't know how to hip escape. He didn't know how to utilize underhooks, and he was just running into takedowns. There was no distance management. Where was his jab? He has such a good jab. The speed at which he throws his jab is crazy, and his speed in general is just super impressive, especially for a guy as big as he is. But he wasn't using his jab. He wasn't using his length and reach advantage. He is 6'7" with an 84.5-inch reach, going up against a guy who's 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. He has 3 inches in height and 6.5 inches in reach, and he was the one trying to close the distance. It makes no sense. He is so long, so fast, so powerful, can put anyone out with one punch, and yet he was the one walking forward, overextending, overcrowding, instead of sitting back and letting Cortes-Acosta come into him and then countering him. A Taekwondo bronze medalist at the Olympics with bad distance management. I mean, he went out there in the first round, pushed Waldo up against the cage, and then just started unloading these wild shots. And because his distance management was so bad, he overcrowded himself straight into a takedown. I get putting Cortes-Acosta on the back foot, but you gotta do it with calculated pressure, and there was no calculations here. He just kept walking into takedowns over and over again. In fact, every single time he got taken down, which was only 3 times, but that's all that was needed because he couldn't get off his back. But every single time he got taken down, it was because he overcrowded himself and just walked straight into it. You look at when he was having his most success, it was in that second round after he defended that takedown, which credit to him, but it was a bad shot by Cortes-Acosta. But after he defended that takedown, he started using distance, started using his kicks, keeping Waldo back, throwing leg kicks, throwing body kicks. He threw a front kick up the middle to the face. That was very nice. Despaigne has really good kicks, obviously coming from his Taekwondo background. They're so fast, little to no telegraph, and his legs are so long, and he was just having so much success with those kicks in the second round. Why wasn't he using those more in the first round? Using the kicks, keeping Waldo at range, forcing him to come in, and then countering him. Waldo's not some high-level striker. He's not great at closing the distance. He leaves himself exposed, so if he got reckless coming in to try and get around those kicks, counter with a right hand. That's what should have been the game plan. This isn't all on Robelis Despaigne. This is also on his corner as well. And I heard someone say, I'm not sure if it's true, that when he was on the ground in the second round, his corner was telling him, "Get up, champion," or something like that, instead of giving him actual advice on how to get up. But even in that second round, after all that success he was having on the feet, what did he do? He came into range, came way too close, started unloading these shots, actually got tagged, I think, with an uppercut, but he just kept walking forward, face first, no defense, no distance management, no nothing, looking for the knockout. I think he just had way too much confidence in his power, or maybe he overlooked Waldo Cortes-Acosta a little too much, because he just gave him no respect. I mean, I don't think his distance management is bad. It can't be, right? Coming from Taekwondo, was a bronze medalist at the Olympics. They're literally known for their distance management. I don't know, it might be the fact that in his last 4 fights, they've lasted 18 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 12 seconds. That's crazy. He's just knocking all these guys out so quick. Maybe he thought, oh, I can do the same thing to this guy, and just got too confident in his power. I mean, he was throwing literally everything into these shots. Look at those uppercuts. Look at those straights he was overextending on. And his cardio also did not look very good. good. I mean, he was gassing out in that second round, which makes sense because of all the wrestling. Wrestling and grappling cardio is different than striking cardio. You know, he's not used to grappling the same way he's used to striking, so his cardio isn't going to look as good, but still gassing out early in the second round. And the way he was leaving himself exposed, super defenseless, keeping his hands low, relying solely on attributes in his reaction time, which his attributes are insane. I mean, he's 6'7" with an 84-inch reach. He's ridiculously fast, at least for that first round. That second round, his speed kind of went away because he got tired. And he also has ridiculous power. We don't see that kind of power often. He has the ability to put anyone out with one punch, but this fight answered a lot of questions we have about him. I'm still excited to see what he does. I think he is going to be a very entertaining fighter. I just don't think he's going to break into the top 10 or even top 15. I mean, he's 35 years old. He's not young, and he still has so much he needs to work on, but this is honestly a disappointing loss because the heavyweight division really needed some life. I mean, outside of the top 5, like John Jones, Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, Stipe, those are all great. But then once you get outside the top 5, guys like Marcin Tybura, Sergey Spivak, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, it really just falls off. The top 5 is great if they would actually fight each other. This heavyweight division really could have used some life from a guy like Robelis Despaigne, but I don't even think he's going to break into the top 15. Look at some of these lower ranked guys, Nascimento, Rogerio de Lima. Like, these guys would probably run right through him. Marcos Rogerio de Lima ran right through Waldo Cortes-Acosta, who just beat Robelis Despaigne easily. So I don't know where Robelis Despaigne goes from here. But anyways, that is the end of the video. If you are new here and you did enjoy, please be sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, like the video, comment your opinions on this fight in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.